Now, as I said in the video before, the Tosfos focuses on the case where he claimed he lied. In such a case, the other one would have to pay his portion. And that would be the potential answer to the explanation of the statement, Misham Lifi Chelko. The other guy pays his portion. The Gemara concludes that can't be because that's a case of Choser Magid. That's a case of someone trying to alternate his testimony. Now, Rev Parvasky has a difficulty on Tosfos. Why? Either way you turn. If he's trying to remove himself as an aid completely, as a witness, he's claiming, I am no longer a witness. So then, when the Eidim Zomim come into court, there's really only one aid left, because they came after he said he lied. So who are they speaking to? There always has to be two Eidim. There can't be Hazama just on one. Elamai, rather you tell me, he's not trying to remove his testimony, he's trying to get out of the punishment of Kasher Zamam, of receiving back what he tried to do. So even if you'll say that doesn't make any sense either. Why? Because we know there's a Zama even after the testimony has been knocked out. Like in the case where two witnesses say that Ruvain is dead. Next thing we know, Ruvain walks into court. Ba horeg baraglav, he walks straight into court. So now the testimony has obviously been knocked out. What happens in such a case where other witnesses come and say, you can't know that Ruvain was killed? Why? You were with us on this day. So we say in such a case that there is Hazama, and we kill the witnesses. In other words, they're still under the din of Kasher Zamam, even though the testimony has been clearly disproved. So Rabbi Parvasky doesn't understand how can it be that this one aide who's claiming that he lied gets out of the din of Kasher Zamam. Rabbi Parvasky answers, we can't take the side that he's trying to remove himself as a witness completely. Why? Because we know that according to the Shach, that the Gemara itself knew in the Havamina, even at this point in the statement where he said he lied, the din of Choser Magi. It's a dever pashit that a person cannot alternate his testimony. We can't say that he's trying to remove himself as an aid, because he cannot remove his testimony. Rather, we'll try to explain on the other side. What's the other side? He's not trying to remove himself as an aid. He's trying to not be in the parsha of Kasher Zamam. He's trying to not be in the punishment. So on that side, we said that even if the dead person walks to court, he's still within that punishment. So we'll answer here differently. He says that when a person says he lies, he can remove himself from being in the punishment, differently than when the dead person walks to the court. You can understand in Svara that simply when a person said that he lied, he's trying to remove himself from the din Kasher Zamam. Kasher Zamam means what you try to do, that's what you get back. What he's saying in this case is, I didn't try to do anything. I'm telling you, I'm giving myself in. I'm telling you that I lied. I'm trying to remove myself. Which is not true in the case with the dead person who walked into court. There was no testimony on behalf of the witness himself. So you have a chasha, and you'll still have the din of Hazama. Now, Rebbi Eiger has a difficulty with this Gemara. After the case where he lied, we brought a new case. We rejected the case where he lied because we said it can't be because of Choser Magid. A person cannot retract in his testimony. And we came with a new case. The new case was that he ran to another Beis Din. Asked the Rebbi Eiger, why go so far to another case where he ran to a separate Beis Din? And we have to reject that case because it doesn't fit with Rebbi Akiva, because Rebbi Akiva holds Moed B'Kanas Pater, and in that case, the person would not have to pay. So that can't be the case. Why go to that case? Use a simple case. The case will be where one guy is Moda. Two people walk into Beis Din, and they claim that Reuven owes $1,000 to Shimon, and one of them comes around and says, no, I'm Moda. Not that he lied, he's saying that he's Moda. We'll see the difference in a minute. So if he says that he's Moda, he does not have to pay according to Rabbi Akiva. I don't know, but if it's Rabbi Akiva, and the other one doesn't have to pay, that will be a Hazama Lifi Chelko. So Rebbi Eiger answers, no, that can't be the case. Why? Because there would be no chiddush in such a case. That's not Hazama Lifi Chelko. Why? Because in such a case they were both caught, and they were both mazmined. They weren't removed. Now, when he tried to remove himself by saying that he's Moda, he's still in the parsha of Hazama. In other words, he's not saying that his Adis is not Adis. He's saying, I want to get out through the legal mechanism known as being Moda B'Kanas Pater. I'm not trying to remove Hazama. So in such a case, it's not Hazama lefi chelko. Hazama lefi chelko has to be a case where there's only Hazama on one of them. And that's not true here. Therefore, the Gemara has to bring the case that it brings. Now, the difference between lying and being moda and admitting is very subtle. Really, it's a similar case. It's almost the same case. What's the difference if he said he lied or he said, I admit? The difference is, it depends on which legal mechanism we want to apply. Do we say that he's lying and he's trying to get out of the din of Hazama? Or do we say, no, he's in the parsha of Hazama and he's using the legal mechanism available to him, which is moda b'kanas pater? I just like to point out here that in the progression of things, it's very interesting. We started out by saying, what is Hazama lefi chelko? Each one pays his portion. So in such a case, there was Hazama on both of them. The second possibility was that one of them got caught. In that case, Hazama would only be on one of them. And we said that can't be. So now we went to the third case where he said he lied. So really there was Hazama on both of them. There was Hazama on both, and then we tried to remove the Hazama in such a case. The fourth case was where he ran to another beis din. In such a case, there was also Hazama on both of them, but since he runs to another beis din, he should bring the information that there was only Hazama on one of them. The final conclusion case is that really there was Hazama on both of them, but in the new beis din, there's only Hazama on one of them. And that's what it means, Eid Zomlim Mishanlem Lefi Chelko.